Hello there everyone, this is Eli G. Brown / Eli G. Brony, and this is my overview on a MOC that I have made. This is on Makuta, Master of Shadows. This is a, well, it's not an official set, but there are somewhat official instructions to this. Not full-on instructions, it doesn't show all the steps, but LEGO did show all the details on how to make this, just by showing the different skeleton and where every part needs to go. Though there were some points where I could not figure out as to where each part actually attached to. I've done a number of sort of different ways on attaching different pieces until I could figure out what the right way was. Though it may take some time to actually describe all of that, so I'm just going to go ahead and actually show the model itself. Now, as far as I know, this actually is supposed to be a combination model of the sets of the Lord of the Skull spiders, which is where most of these spider leg tip pieces are from, as well as the trans orange lift arm pieces. What's lucky is that I already had 2 of those lift arm pieces in my parts drawer already, so that saved me from buying 2. But I did need 2 more to make the legs. And it also uses parts from Mask Maker vs. Skull Grinder, and Tahu, Uniter of Fire, and Onua, Uniter of Earth, and Ikir, Creature of Fire, and Umarak the Hunter, and Umarak the Destroyer. If there is a set that I missed, do let me know. I tried to list them all out, but I may have gotten them all down. I'm just not really sure. But for this model here, I actually bought as many of the parts off of Bricklink that I needed. There were some parts that I already had, so I just went ahead and used them, as well as some pieces that I just needed to get in order to make this. I did notice that when I was actually putting this thing together, using some pieces that I already had, as well as the pieces that had come in the mail, I noticed that there were some pieces that were, missing, like some that I didn't notice when I was originally making the wanted lists. So yeah, I thought that I had gotten it pretty much finished, but there were still a couple of pieces left to do. I did have to do a few part swappings on some of my MOCs, but that didn't turn out too badly. In fact, I think some of my MOCs actually look a bit better now. I'm not going to bother showing you what was changed on those other MOCs, because those changes are quite small. Maybe I'll show an image of them later on DeviantArt to show what had changed, but for now I'm just going to focus on this. Alright, so the legs, well, the legs can move alright. Kind of difficult to move the upper part of the leg. It is easy to move the lower part. And for the arms can move, though this staff kind of makes things a bit heavy when it comes to moving things. Though the staff does have this spinny thing at the top right there. In fact, I'm going to take this staff out of his hand for a minute, just to show you, just to show you a little interesting thing that I had discovered. Yeah, he can sometimes duck backwards, like that. Like, if you hold the staff right here, like on the drill bit, and spin it about, well, nothing really special, though. But that's that right there. And I noticed that the little gear bits inside of the drill actually mash in with the small gear pieces that are inside of the drill. These small gear pieces that are used right there. Right, I'm now going to attach this back on. I did actually attach this very differently from how it was supposed to at first, but then I took a closer look at the images and saw that this was the way that it was supposed to be. The original way was using one of those Technic pieces that had the 2 holes at the end and 1 in the center, and with that the staff was just flopping about, and I had some issues with that. But having it like this, it works out a lot easier because the staff now is just staying in one place. Alright, I might need to move the camera around this so I can show you, though I don't have much space in here because this MOC right here almost touches the ceiling of the studio. We'll show you another feature. This feature right here, where the weapons just stick out forward like this, kind of reminds me of the hook weapon thing, the moving arm on the Exotoa from Generation 1 in 2002. And then you also notice that Makuta does have a couple of masks on, well, on a chain right here. This is the Tahu mask from the Uniter series, and also Onua's mask is in there too, as well as Skull Grinder's mask right there. I didn't actually get the Uniter sets, but I did get these 2 masks because I needed them for this model. The Skull Grinder mask is also an extra one that I got off of Bricklink because I did not want to use the one that was on my Skull Grinder already. Alright. Now, I'm going to see if I can show you a bit more detail revolving around the model right here. And of course you notice that this model has the Mask of Ultimate Power. I apologize if the camera is kind of getting a bit blurred at some point. I cannot help that. It's just how the camera works. Now, I already showed a video showing the Mask of Ultimate Power, so I'm not going to go into much detail about that because I already covered that in my Mask of Ultimate Power review. And I am going to pretty much mention this, so somebody may have already left a comment on this video pointing this out because they didn't watch the video all the way through, is that the Mask of Ultimate Power right here is actually not the most detailed version. There's, in fact, a much better version of the Mask of Ultimate Power that some people have been pointing out. But I already got this mask. This is a custom mask that I got off of Shapeways, and it was designed by Sir Tumbleweed, and it cost me about $17 to get. This is including the shipping. And then rotating this guy around the back, also, I do quite like the clever use of Akimu's shield. I think it's the Cinderella wheel thing, not quite sure. And going on to the back, there's the weapons from Skull Grinder that I used on the back. I actually attached them up here at first, but they would not fit very well. I then looked at the picture and realized that I was doing it wrong the whole time. And speaking of things wrong, there are actually 1 or 2 things about this that are actually very wrong. This piece right here, I actually just used as a substitute for that. It's not really the piece that should be used, but I went ahead and used it because it doesn't really matter. I mean, it still looks like the official version of the model that LEGO had provided. And the same goes for a 5-hole lift arm piece right here. It's actually supposed to be 2 of the flat lift arm pieces with 5 holes, 2 of them being the axle holes and 3 being the normal pin holes. But I went with the standard 5-hole one instead, because it works the same. And it doesn't change the appearance of how this really looks. So, oh, and also for the gear right here, you can turn it. But this is how it pretty much works anyway. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get this guy to, like, face over this way. Oh no! Yeah, you see, he's not very stable. Alright, so, let me see how he attacks. Alright. So now I'm going to do a little size comparison right here. Now I don't have Umarek the Destroyer at the time that I am recording this, so I can't really make some sort of height comparison. I do have Umarek the Hunter from the first wave, but I don't have him with me here right now. But what I do have is Makuta the Mask Maker. the original version of Makuta. This is what Makuta looked like in the flashback. He was originally an ordinary Akotan that just got jealous that his brother Akimu was making masks that everybody liked more than him. And you can pretty much see the very size differences between the two of them. I mean, of course, both Mask Maker brothers have a much bigger form than their original Mask Maker form. Akimu has his Toa-like form from Journey to One. And you notice a huge difference in size. I mean, if you saw these two characters right here, like just out of the blue, and you just, like, let's say you never knew about Bionicle, either Generation 1 or 2, and you just saw these two characters side by side, would you think for a moment that they were the exact same character, just in different forms? I think not. You pretty much would have to know the story really well in order to know that these two characters are in fact the same. And I've seen other people make videos showing that they have also made models using the images that LEGO provided on how to make Makuta in this version right here. And I've seen that some people have used the Mask of Control, since the Mask of Ultimate Power doesn't actually exist in set form. As I said before, the one that I've used here is the custom version. And I also know that on the official, in the official pictures, the Mask of Ultimate Power was actually gold, but the gold one on Shapeways would be too expensive for me to get. I know I probably could have, like, spray painted it or something, but I think I like the black version a lot better, because it was black in the animations. I really don't see why it should be gold on the model right here, since it wasn't black in the animation. So I also did not see these masks in the animation, but I added them in anyway, because that was what the official model showed. So I think that's pretty much it for this one. And for those of you who had been watching, I'm just checking the time. It's kind of hard to see the timer. It says 12. For those of you who have been watching my stop motions on making a G2 version of the cutscenes from Bionicle to the game, now that I have this model done, I will be able to do the final level using this model right here, and Akimu the Mask Maker will be fighting against him. I may start doing the filming tonight. I want to do it when it is nighttime. It is like sometime after 2 o'clock at the time that I am recording this. And, well, it may be a couple of days before you finally see that video, because it may take me some time to get it all done. But I will be sure to start working on that tonight, and I hope that you enjoy this model. I'm pretty much predicting that this is going to get quite a lot of views, considering that it's an official model and an official character. And usually when I make MOCs based on official characters that weren't released as official sets, I certainly get a lot of views from that. So thank you for watching, and I will be sure to talk to you again next time.